The 2022 Royal Enfield Himalayan. I'm going to do my absolute best to give you a completely unbiased and truthful opinion and first impression of this machine, which shouldn't be too hard considering I've never owned one and I've never ridden one up until this point right here. This bike's got 3 miles on it, and you're about to witness its very first maiden voyage out onto the pavement. And the very first thing that I noticed was how easy it started and chugged like a little tractor. I've heard people having problems with the idle on these bikes, but this one didn't have any problem whatsoever. Warmed up just fine. Now right there I noticed just how touchy the clutch was. You barely let out and she would begin to move. Later on through the ride though, I felt like it broke in and I wasn't quite having to be as careful. Now your dash setup on this bike seems to be pretty adequate. Very easy to see the speedometer, tachometer, even the little GPS on the right there, the tripper unit that they call it. I don't have mine set up, but I can see where it's going to be beneficial. Love the gas gauge. Gotta have a gas gauge. One thing I did notice, the turn signal switch is a little bit high. So you kind of almost have to take your hand off the grip to do it, but that could just be me and my little short fat fingers struggling with those brand new gloves. Now the window, perfectly fine for me. I'm only 5'8". I expected it to be coming right up under the chin of my helmet trying to rip it off my head, but nope, seemed to be just fine. Now, I don't intend to be doing a whole lot of off-roading with it. It will see some dirt and sand and gravel at some point, but today I just kind of went down to the local marina where I could bounce around in the sand and the potholes right here, just to kind of get an idea what the suspension was going to be like. And to be honest, it wasn't bad. I was very surprised. I got over here to this section of the parking lot and stood up on the foot pegs just to kind of find out that the foot pegs feel more like you're standing on a stick than a foot peg. It kind of hits you right in the arch of your foot, and that's all you feel it in. So standing up on it for a long period of time might be just a little bit trying. Future upgrade, I guess. Now I got up into 50 and 60 down through here, and I generally feel like 4th and 5th gear, you could run 50, 60, 65 with this bike all day long and it wouldn't think twice about it. 1st and 2nd gear is incredibly torquey, and you can idle it almost down to nothing, and that little thing chugs right along. Now I did begin to notice somewhere around in here that the seat, even though is pretty comfortable at first, it's kind of made like a sliding board. Now the material doesn't let you slide too much, but after a bit it did seem like it was a little bit uncomfortable, and you kept having to find places to move around to. Hopefully that'll break in and won't have to spend a lot of money on another seat, but you never know. Future upgrade. Now I did notice that the mirrors are a little bit shaky, but that's kind of to be expected on really anything. I had expensive Harley Davidsons that had mirrors that had to be replaced, so I'm not really too upset about that. This is where I found out that the brakes were a little bit weak on the front. However, if you really get a good grip on it, it'll slow you down just fine. But I do see where I've got a little bit of a weakness there that needs to be taken care of. I've heard people changing brake pads and things like that with it, and maybe that's the answer. We'll find out. Right along in here, I was standing up on those foot pegs again because I kind of wanted to get a good view of the bridge, but the people were looking at me like, what is wrong with this guy? But about the time I got to the stop sign there, I did realize that, yeah, those foot pegs, they're definitely going to get changed at some point. Now, how does this bike handle? Well, it handles like a heavy bike. It's 440 plus pounds, more made for the road than the dirt. But I think it's a bike that does everything well. And it does it well enough that you enjoy it for what it is. So if you're looking to get one, I would say it does everything well enough. Well, I hope this helps some of y'all out. Thank y'all for watching. We'll see you next time.